Hey guys, what's up? This is CG Stuff. Today we're going to be looking at this add-on that comes bundled with the Animate Pro Forge Bundle, which has Animate Pro Transformator Blendinator. And today we're going to be looking at Stopmotionator. And what this add-on does is it converts your animation into a stop motion effect animation, kind of like Into the Spider-Verse, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, Bad Guys 2 and 1, that animation style basically. So let's say we have this animation, it's basically running at 60 FPS, and in order for me to do this manually in Blender, I have to bake my animation and then bake it on 4s or on 12s or whatever. But the idea is that I don't have this control if I want to do it later. You know what I mean? I have to, let's say, if I want to non-procedurally transform the animation at a later date, whether let's say it's on 4s or on 12s or whatever, I can't. I have to bake the animation and rebake it on 12s, then on 4s, etc. With Stopmotionator though, I have the luxury, let me just remove these, I have the luxury of controlling how much I want my animation to be stepped on. So here, let's say I have this idle animation. I just click on the rig and I add plus. Right now, this is a modifier. This is a modifier that's pretty much stepping my animation, and it's detecting that I have 120 frames, and it doesn't seem like it's doing much, but that's because this animation is running at 60 FPS. So if we go to the graph editor, and if I click on my rig, over here I can also see, like in my add-ons tab, I can see that I have also Stopmotionator, except that the context is the graph editor, and I can just click on this pen icon, and it's telling me that you have steps every 2 frames. So if I, let's say, just click on the first pin, basically, I can say, you know what, I want every 4 frames. So you can see that we have a slight change in my animation. And if I zoom in my graph on my graph editor, you can see that the animation is basically turned into the graph, sorry, is turning into a step graph. So if I can disable it, you can see the difference. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you can see that over here, whenever I disable and enable it, it's basically like a stepped motion. And if I make it even more apparent, like let's say we have 10 steps, you can see that my skeleton is becoming more apparent, that, you know, it's a step motion animation pretty much. In this situation though, I want, let's say, an animation every 4, like I want 4 steps, or let's say make it more apparent, let's say 6. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Here's the thing though. The cool thing about this add-on is, let's say, it automatically detects that this is the animation it needs to like step. So if I switch another animation and I have, let's say, an attack animation, it's still 60 FPS. It's not stepping it, because here's the thing. This modifier is only working on the idle animation. So if I were to add this one, it's detecting that, okay, this is the skeleton attack animation. And the cool thing, let's analyze this animation. This animation, he's anticipating and he's attacking, and then, you know, he's going back to idle. So this add-on can do something cool. I want to, in this situation, start, let's say, at 4 steps, then make, let's say, 10, because it's an impact frame, and then go back to 6 or 5 or whatever. So what I do basically is I enable the pin and I get that thing, and I, let's say, start at 4 or whatever. So you can see that my animation is like this. You know what, maybe I want it to be at 2, okay, or 3. And then over here, I go to the point where he's about to attack, which is here. I press Shift A, I make another pin, and in this situation, I want, maybe, if Shift X, basically, I want to delete the pin. Maybe I want it to be here, okay? So I press Shift A, and over here, from the moment to the down pose, basically, to where he's subtle pose, sorry, I make it, let's say, 6, okay? So that means it's going to be instantaneous. And then up until here, where he's about to go back, I press Shift A, and then I make it pretty much 3 again. So you can see that you get to control how much each frame range, and you can see them here, how much each frame range has, how many steps pretty much. So this is pretty cool. And let's say I go back to my idle animation, it's unaffected basically. So you can see that if I click on the idle, it's still going from the range 1 to 20. If I click here, you can see that it's still doing the every 6 steps. But if I go back to my skeleton animation, you can't edit it because you have to be in the attack animation. So here, if I do this, you can see that, you know, it's been preserved. And even though this is technically still in beta, this is feature complete because you can add the stop motion effects on your animation non-destructively and procedurally using these modifiers. And the cool thing basically is that you can, if you want to render in Blender, you're free to do so. Basically, like right now, I can just like keep it on my camera and render it, put on lights, whatever. But the cool thing basically is that if I want to export this style or this animation style to a video game, I can still preserve the animation via a modifier. Or if I want to export using ARP or whatever FBX exporter I want, it will bake the animation with this, since on export you're exporting the modifier. Sorry, you're baking the modifier. So this animation will be exported, and you will keep this in Blender. So again, very non-destructive, very procedural, very cool. And I advise you, if you like this style of animation, I advise you to get this bundle, because this Stopmotionator is only available with Animate Pro Forge. Here's the thing, though. I am not an affiliate. I do not, I do not get commissions, obviously. I just like this bundle and I really believe in it. I think that it is one of the best animation tools in Blender. And if you like what you see, I highly advise that you go check it out because it's very cool.